Amarila's Mimamsa. So he made a distinction, but a parallel between action, which creates apurva, from Vedic action, Vedic yagya, and karma. And he was very interesting in this, and the way he mixed that together. I'm not an expert, but that was one of his major issues on his agenda. Okay? Now you could try and deal with it that way, or else just cut the Gordian knot and say, look, you know, all action, even Vedic ritual, even this very spiritual action, is action and it's binding, because that's that. And the only way you're going to get out of it is through knowledge. Right? That was Shankaracharya at all costs. No? Right in the middle of the Shaiva age, he's trying to wave a flag for Brahmanism, you know, in the midst of all that. No? Because it's one thing to be losing disputes with Buddhists, which he wasn't, because he had no Buddhists to dispute with. There's no mention of Buddhism in any of his commentaries. No? He completely ignored them. And they completely ignored him. Why? Because I think in the Shaiva age, being a Vedic Brahmin didn't demand much attention. Not so much. Perhaps. I don't know, I'm not so historian. You look in the inscriptions. The inscriptions are very revealing. They give us little glimpses. No. So, but he put up the flag, which had been put up first of all by a Buddhist, Buddha himself, the first Buddhist, that you get liberation from birth and death by knowledge, by illumination, by Bodha, by awakening, because we're kind of asleep and he's Buddha, he's awake. Right? So all this set a huge ball rolling and still moving around. Now by the time you get to the great Shaiva exegetes, beginning from the middle of the 9th century, the goal is very clearly moksha. And the only way that you can get moksha, by that time everybody agrees, is through jnana. So then, do we throw out all this ritual? We call it aparavidya. And ours is paravidya, like that, right? Typical Brahminical approach. Ours is whatever it is that is the latest fashion. We're the masters of that. And no, he doesn't do that. Not at all. There's no sense in Abhinavagupta. He does distinguish between those who have such intense Shaktipat that they get immediate realization. They don't need to start doing a ritual. They wouldn't even bother with japa. Okay? So those, he doesn't say that they're very rare, but they are. Even in the Gita, it says millions called, only one or two come to me. Swamiji, they asked him, Swami Lakshmanji, why just one out of millions? Why not two? Why not three? Yeah. Then Swamiji replied very nicely, because there is only one.
Right.
So anyway, so Abhinavagupta and the Siddhantins before him, as a teacher, he is expounding Trikashastra in its best, most excellent form, as that which leads to liberation and bhoga also. Nothing wrong with bhoga. It's rather longer, but you have your bhoga. And that can be done also through ritual and yoga. Many kinds, that means more than, they didn't have asana in those days. But yoga, you understand, so many kundalini yogas and so many cognitive yogas, pranic yogas, and bodily yogas, etc. So this is how he begins. He sets out his commentary, and that's the foundation of his understanding of all the elements of tantric ritual. in the actual procedures themselves, the minute details of ritual action, and also in the most general principles that underlie them. So it would be quite natural for him to understand mantra as leading to knowledge. Why? Because mantra is itself that awareness, that dynamic awareness, that universal dynamism of consciousness. That is what the vitality of mantra is made of, as you know. And so on and so forth, he explained. All the elements, as I said, of ritual and yoga. From that perspective. Why he had to do that? Was so that he could establish that through through a profound knowledge of these principles, as you engage in ritual action, whether it be mantra or complex ritual, through knowing these deeply and growing knowledge of that, your mind would gradually be purified and you would develop slowly recognition that the worshipper and the worship and the act of worship, they're all Lord Shiva and his divine power. So that's it. Like this I talk to people. Then we sit now and you do the nyasa, for example, again. Say you did the nyasa, explained all this the way you explained.